Hi everyone, it's Emily here. I'm here for my second video on my YouTube channel telling you about my transition journey. Today's video is actually about my journey with the Gender Identity Clinic. So I'm going to give you in a bit more detail my timeline and how that's gone. So for me, I have went on the waiting list with the NHS Sandyford Clinic in Glasgow back in January of 2020. Currently, the clinic, as on their updated timetable on the website, says that they're seeing people who were on the waiting list from May of 2018. So that kind of gives you an idea and impression of how long people wait on an NHS waiting list for gender identity clinic services. So that left me saying that for me, I felt as though that was far too long, and my mental health situation was very bad at the time because of that. So it took a lot for me to do it. But I ended up researching and finding out about a clinic in Edinburgh called Your GP. Now, I heard a lot of good things about them, that they were very reputable and that they had a lot of success with their clients. So I went on the waiting list with them in February of 2021, about a year and a month after still being on the waiting list with Sandyford. Now, I kind of had a bit of a different experience of being on the waiting list with the gender clinic in Edinburgh, because I was on it during the pandemic. Now, from what I understand and gather, when people are on the waiting list for Your GP, they don't wait as long as what I did. So for me, my actual first appointment with them didn't actually take place till 2 days before my birthday in November. So I was pretty much spot on 9 months of being on that waiting list. And that's when I had my first opinion appointment with Dr. Shaw. And that was in person at the clinic. And then I had my second opinion appointment 2 days before Christmas, and that was on a Zoom call with Professor Chuliara. And then those two appointments, I seen both the letters that the doctors had wrote, and they both came with the same diagnosis of gender incongruence. For myself, there was then a delay. I think there was a few COVID-related issues going on about other waves, so my next appointment was delayed. So, meanwhile, in between my second appointment and my third appointment, which took place in March of this year, which I was seen by Dr. Vracker, Your GP wrote to my own NHS GP and asked would they be able to do blood tests for me. So I had my first blood test taken in January, and that was just to get my baseline bloods. So when I got my baseline bloods done, I went and got them at my NHS GP, who was supportive and agreeing with that. And then I had to wait for the 2 months for the next gender clinic appointment. So that happened in the very start of the month of March. And when I met Dr. Vracker, she looked over the two previous doctors' letters, and yes, that's when I got to the stage of whereby I get given my first prescription for hormones, which was private. Now, that prescription was very, very expensive. I'd never actually had a private prescription for anything in my life, because I'm always used to prescriptions being free on the NHS in Scotland. So for me, it was a bit of a shock to find that the first prescription was £95. And then I was put on patches, so I was put on Estroderm MX patches, which has got the drug estrogen on it, that basically gives you the female hormones. And then I have been given Cyproterone, testosterone blocker, the form of tablets. I went with that for my first 3 months, and then I got myself my next lot of blood tests in May time, and then I went to the gender clinic again, and I was a little disappointed because they said that you still had too much testosterone in your blood and you'd not enough of a rise in estrogen levels, so I then get put on a higher dosage of the patches. The next time I went for that prescription, I was even more shocked, but it was just seeing the price of prescriptions going up. So for me, the next prescription, because it's stronger patches, the total cost for me was £125. Which to me was a bit eye-watering. So since then I have had it that your GP has wrote to my NHS GP and has then asked about doing shared care for my prescription, so I would get it free on the NHS. So they wrote them the letter, and then I had that appointment with my doctor just past Friday, and the good news was that they did actually offer me the shared care, and that made me feel so happy and so relieved, because the price of the prescription is so expensive, and when you're paying all that money for a prescription, you could be doing other things with your life, such as being able to buy clothes and to be able to do things to make yourself more feminine and to be able to be more comfortable in being yourself. So it's a massive weight off my mind to actually have that prescription. I've got my next up and coming checkup appointment with your GP in August time. It's actually in the middle of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, so I'm hoping that I will be able to get to have some fun around the Fringe whilst I'm through for my appointment, and hopefully maybe get to see one or two things. If anybody ever does want to reach out and contact me, you can be free to follow me on any of my other social media channels. I'm going to put them into my profile so you can see where to send any messages. If you want to ask me more things about my transition journey, happy to answer them. And I hope that you found this video informative and that it gives you a little bit of insight into my current medical journey and transition. So, signing out. Bye.